So the title of this video was actually going to be everything wrong with the coronavirus tracking of Apple and Google, but I've changed it to everything right because I've read it and it actually looks good. So first things first, a bit of a quick explanation on this. In May, Apple and Google are going to work together and release different apps. That might be apps they made themselves, that might be apps that are third-party apps, but always in consideration with the government of a certain country, to the App Store, so the Google Play Store or the App Store, of course, on iOS. And those apps will track what you do, and because of those apps, you'll know that you came into contact with someone who has the coronavirus or not. That way, they can prevent spreading and people will know that they have to stay at home at that time because they came into contact with someone who has the coronavirus. That's the big explanation. It's actually an add-on to people being tested for the coronavirus via the thing you have to put up your nose. So of course, this won't replace the real tests, but this can actually improve the way people go about their day. If they actually know I've been into contact with someone who has the coronavirus, they can make their own decision and say, okay, I'm going to stay home now. And then in the second phase after May, it will be built into the phone where you just have to opt in or give like your allowance that they can track you wherever you go, something like that. And that was, for me, the tracking part was like, ooh, that's not going to go that good, I think, looking at privacy concerns. But now I've read it, it doesn't actually look all that bad. So there are actually two things they're going to try to measure. One, your location, sort of. And second one, if you have the coronavirus or not. So the location, they won't even track a physical location. There will be an interval of 5 minutes and they'll send signals to nearby phones and also get signals from nearby phones via Bluetooth, which means that, for example, this phone is in that proximity and that phone is in that proximity. This one has a coronavirus and then this phone picks it up and then you'll get a notification, something like that. But not a real GPS coordination location. It will be something different, not a geolocation in that case. Also, of course, what you're probably thinking is, then will I know that Simon has coronavirus? No, because it will be anonymous. So you will receive an anonymous key. Everyone will have an anonymous key, which will cycle every 15 minutes. So that means that it's impossible almost, I think, to track that key. And then you have to give the information, or the government will have to give the information. I don't know about that really. That, for example, I have the coronavirus, then they'll link that to my phone, to my personal anonymous key, which cycles every 50 minutes. And then everyone who has been in contact with that, my anonymous key, will get a notification that they have been in contact with someone who has the coronavirus. Now, okay, that all sounds great and privacy okay, I think. But the main issue will probably be that, for example, if you cross someone who is like 3-4 meters away the other side of the road, and he has or she has the coronavirus, you also get a notification. While if you sit next to someone on the train, bus, or anywhere else, which is probably not allowed at this time, but hey, who knows, then you also get a notification. So the fact that you can get a notification by someone who is pretty far away and is unable to contaminate you, and you can also get a notification by someone who can be hugging you, for example, that's a bit of a gray zone, I think. So that also means when people are, for example, sitting in the park and there's someone in that park who has the coronavirus but does not come into close contact with 50 other people, for example, they all get a notification that they might have come in contact with someone who has the coronavirus, and then people might start freaking out. So I don't know how they will do that. Probably a closer proximity of like about 1 or 2 meters or something like that. That might be a good solution. And they probably already thought about that because, yeah, it's Apple and Google. But the main thing I'm also taking from this is that Apple and Google can actually work together if they want to, especially in this time of crisis. And if companies can work together, why can't politicians work together? That's my main question. Right, so next month we're going to see this app which will try to show who's contaminated and what's happening with all the contamination. So let's hope this blows over fast, but it won't probably, and this won't just blow over. It will take a lot of time to get everything back to normal, but stay safe, stay in your home, and make sure you wash your hands. And if you enjoyed this, feel free to subscribe and leave a like down below, and I hope I'll see you in my next video.